Hello everyone and welcome to 2025, and I want to thank you for coming back to the Ian Bailey Magic channel. And today I'm going to be talking about my top 10 purchases from last year, 2024. Let's have a look. Well, yes, a whole year has now passed. I think it's been about a year of me doing YouTube. I think I started in January last year. So thank you for watching all the videos that I've put up. Hasn't been as regular. Once again, we're into that cycle of me apologising, but I have to do it. But yeah, it's great to be back. Hopefully there'll be more videos to come. And I really wanted to talk, to start this year off, kind of recapping last year. Now, a lot of people have put their kind of highlights of last year on and kind of gone through what they've done as a business. I'm not necessarily going to do that. What I do want to do is just thank everyone who has booked me for lectures, conventions, gigs as well. I've had a really, really good year, and this has been the year that, that I've been raising my little baby. So we started a family last December. So that was actually 2023. To be precise. But yeah, kind of raising our little son has been amazing this year, which has meant that some of the kind of momentum of me releasing magic tricks has slowed down, unfortunately. And I knew it was going to happen. That's why I had to kind of push out, dig it, and kind of make out all the props for that and get them out, because I knew that this year would be a difficult one, or last year. And so I'm wanting to kind of get back into it this year. So do expect to see some things from me in 2025. I've already got some ideas that I'm kind of working on. But yeah, I will hopefully be pushing some of these ideas out soon. But do book me for lectures. I'm always lecturing, going out to magic clubs. I really, really enjoy that. And if you're not a magician watching this, firstly, you shouldn't be. I appreciate you coming on. But if you do want to book me for a gig, then please visit my website. I'll put the website down here. But this video is mainly for magicians, and I want to tell you about the top 10 purchases that I've made in 2024. Now, this doesn't mean that these tricks came out in 2024. I don't purchase that much magic. A lot of the time, I'm actually just purchasing my own tricks to then sell at conventions and websites, and not websites, conventions, and on my website. So a lot of my kind of order history is actually me just purchasing stuff wholesale. The tricks that I have purchased, I think the majority of these I have used, and I've used regularly, and I look forward to sharing them with you. So let's start off in no particular order with number 1. So the spots at number 1, like I said, it's in no particular order, is the Anverdi Mental Die. Now, a lot of us magicians own this in some form or another, whether it's Anverdi, whether it's Pro Mystic. There's a lot of different manufacturers. I purchased the Anverdi one. I think maybe Pro Mystic is better if you want to go down that route, but for what I use it for, it works very, very well. Do need to give an honorary mention to the British Secret Society, because what they have done is created a shell that you can put your die in, and they give you a selection of stickers. So this sticker I've got here, or sticker set, is your favourite takeaways. So what's great is that I can perform this around tables at weddings, and I can ask them what their favourite food is, kind of ask random little questions that seemingly have nothing to do with it, but I'm actually able to guess what food that they're thinking of. Brilliant routine, really, really fun. It's one of those ones that you can do over and over and over again because people want to challenge you on it. And yeah, for me, it's been a lot of fun. I think this shell for me has saved it. I think if it was just me guessing numbers, for me and my performance kind of personality, I don't feel like that's necessarily that engaging. So this is a really, really good thing. So I want to thank the British Secret Society for one of these as well. But number 1 was the Anverdi Mental Die. Spot number 2 is quite an unusual one, and it's the Popschticle by Pop Haydn. This I got from monstermagic.co.uk. I think he's the only one that sells these in the UK, but this is a kind of a realistic looking magnum or ice cream, and I've really enjoyed this. Basically what happens is if there's any dead time in your act, if they're inspecting rope that needs to be examined or any kind of random prop that needs to be examined, that dead time can easily be filled by you just reaching into your trouser pockets, pulling out an ice cream, taking a bite and popping it away. It's just a random little thing that you don't draw attention to. If people are watching you, they see that happen, but you don't kind of make a big joke about it. You literally just do it. And if they see it, they see it. If they don't, they don't. I thought I'd use this on stage, but I'm actually using this a lot close up, especially around the tables again. So yeah, it's a very fun random prop. And I feel like this year I've been kind of spending most of my time looking at kind of random joke items that I can carry, but you know, that I can use between sets, as opposed to the actual trick itself. And so this had to be in the top 10, and I really recommend you go on monstermagic.co.uk. hopefully you still got some of these, and yeah, that is an excellent little gag. Position number 3 is a very recent purchase of mine, and this is Mine, Yours and the Mystery. Now this is a banknight routine just using 3 envelopes. This is by Paul Martin and Jamie Raven. They have gigged this a lot, and it's a really nice easy banknight just using 3 envelopes. I've used Blank Night by John Archer for years on stage, and I will probably continue to do so in certain environments. There's a little bit of moves going on with it, and I can do it and it's fine, but I think if you want to do something surrounded, then that routine is a little bit sketchy. So I wanted basically to create an act that I could do at a house party surrounded, or I could do on stage for maybe 200 people, something like that. And this really fits the bill. So it's 3 envelopes, and I have to admit I've changed the routining on it. What they have is one envelope says it says mine, the other one says yours, and then the other one is just a question mark. And basically it allows you to say that mine is much bigger than yours. It's good in the right environments, but for me, as a Christian as well, I don't really want to be doing that type of gag at churches or anywhere like that. So I'm going to be performing a lot of churches and things like that, which I think, especially as an opener, it doesn't really suit me or my audience particularly well. So I have changed it to some of the language that I was actually using for Blank Night. So the first one has something written on it. All the others have something else written on it, not the word something else, but something else other than something. This one actually has nothing written on it. It is something, but not something. It is actually something else, even though it's not the word something else, but it is actually nothing, which weirdly is something. But you might be thinking it's not in these, it's actually in this one, and you need to decide. So basically, yeah, so I can use that fun routining, and it's great. So basically what you can do is give away £5, and you say you will win £5, and I want to make sure that you win £5. And so the envelope that they choose does genuinely have £5 in that they can take away as a gift. But the reason why you wanted them to win £5 is because in the other envelope there's £100, and then in the other one there's a cheque for £10,000. So, you know, it makes it seem like you're being generous when actually you're protecting yourself from going bankrupt. So yeah, so it's a really nice little routine. I really like this effect, and that certainly has made it into the top 10. The next routine is a packet trick. This is number 4 we're at now, number 4, and this is the Ishari test, the Ishari test by Liam Levanon. This is a really good trick that uses these kind of colorblind tests. And the reason why I bought this is basically you show all of the colours of the backs of the cards, and they're all like grey, right? So you kind of ask them what's the colour of the cards, they're grey, and then basically as you do the routine, they then, after going through this test, realise that the colours aren't grey, they are in fact all different, and you've managed to cure their colour blindness. That's the kind of way I've gone down the routine. I actually found that the routine itself, from the download, the premise doesn't necessarily really make sense to me. I don't know why I've had an issue with this, but watching it, I'm like, but are they colorblind? Are they not? So what I've done with that routine is basically just said, look, there's two different types of colour blindness. There's the colour itself, but then there's also the way of differentiating between the colours if they're together. So let's see what you can do. And so I kind of claim that the backs are all different colours when they're not, they're all grey, go through the test and then manage to cure their colour blindness so that they can now see all the different colours on the back. Whether it's just me being strange and I've missed something, I'm not sure, but with that new presentation this makes it make more sense, and it's a really nice little test. It's a really good quick packet trick that I enjoy. The reason why I got it is because I'm trained as an electrician. I genuinely had to do one of these when I did my apprenticeship, so they had to make sure that you weren't colourblind, otherwise that would create a whole host of issues and you end up cutting the blue wire and then the whole thing goes bang or whatever. So yeah, so that suits my environment as an electrician, which is really good. So that is number 4. Let's have a look at number 5. Number 5 is a routine called Flick It, and this is by Twister Magic. It comes in this little box, and it's a really nice routine. Well, I'd say routine, it's basically a utility gimmick, and it's just a pack of post-it notes. And what you can have is a drawing on here, and when you kind of flick it like this, it visually changes. It's really, really good. I haven't really done it for the camera, but it's a really nice routine. So what you can do is visually change an image just by flicking like this with your hand. But what it may be used for me is add a number pad, because it allows you to switch in quickly a set of numbers for another set of numbers without people seeing. So rather than having a kind of a leather bound notepad, you can do it with this, and it seems a bit more everyday. So I think in certain environments the informality of that works really well. So really recommend checking out that if you've got some idea for a visual change or an add a number routine. Number 6 is Airport. Now Airport is a great utility that allows you to make 2 earbuds into kind of, you know, vanish 2 earbuds one at a time. And I've got a video that I will upload on this right here. Hi everyone, this is a new invention from Apple. I'm excited to share it with you. This is what they call the InvisiBuds. And all they do is they give you the case as a kind of a reference point, but you can just pull out your earbuds from the case, just like so, all right? Now, what they can do, they kind of give you that as a reference point just so you don't lose them. But if you put the first one in your ear, you would not even know it was in there, right? Because they're InvisiBuds. It goes in. That had nothing to do with the trick, and now they've disappeared. They've kind of, you know, gone invisible because they're InvisiBuds. It was a very fun video. It got a lot of notoriety purely for the sneezing there. But yeah, it's a really good utility. Now this has inspired me with my own release, which will hopefully be coming out soon, and it was, yeah, a real inspiration for me to come up with my own AirPod related trick. So it's a really nice thing. It's great to have in your pocket, especially if you've got a set of AirPods, and yeah, really recommend checking out that. Number 7 is a trick which I did a review for recently, which is Lowkey by Adam Dadswell. This is a great effect which uses a padlock and a set of keys. And so you have your set of keys and you basically lock 2 people together, or you lock a finger ring or 2 sets of finger rings onto a padlock. And basically you have to identify the key that unlocks the padlock. It's a great routine. It works really well. I would say I still prefer my super lock, I think it's called, which is on stage with 7 keys, and you know, you can drag it out a bit more, build it up a bit more. But for a parlor environment or table hopping, something like that, this works really, really well. It's very, very clever in its thinking. It's not a gimmicked padlock. It's not gimmicked keys. Nothing is gimmicked, in fact. And it's just a really, really nice kind of, you know, padlock key trick. Number 8 might throw you off slightly, and this is actually a trick called Mr. Gloves, and this is Mr. Glove. he's quite shy. Look, he's quite shy, or he's a bit sleepy. I don't know, but yeah, you said hello. This is a routine which I didn't think I was going to love, but I do. What I've made a few changes to it though. So this trick, when it comes out, is you get a pair of red gloves, and I've chose to do grey gloves because I think basically what I did is I essentially brought the trick. Let me get rid of that now. Okay, so it's a set of gloves, right? It's a set of ungimmicked gloves. It allows you to do a silk vanish, a traditional silk vanish, shall we say, with this set of gloves, where the little puppet pushes it into your fist and then makes it disappear. What I didn't want to do is, firstly, I don't wear red gloves, so I thought, let me get myself a set of merino wool. And if you know me, you know I'm obsessed with merino wool clothing. But you can get yourself a set of merino wool gloves that are nice and thin. I got these in grey. I think the company is called EDZ or EDZ. I got myself those gloves in grey and made the gimmick myself with that colour of gloves. And basically it just means that in the winter I can wear those gloves, and then if I'm in a situation where children are screaming, you know, there's an avalanche happening and children are screaming and they've lost their parents, it's an absolute nightmare. I can come in with Mr. Gloves, using the gloves that I'm already wearing, do a little show for them. No, it's great. It's a really nice routine. It's brilliant to have a puppet without actually owning a puppet. I think, you know, if you own a puppet or you bring your puppet from home, it kind of looks a bit pre-prepared, doesn't it? But this has actually weirdly become an EDC for me. I think if I was to use the red gloves that they give you in the box, it's just a bit kind of thing. And then also they also give you a set of fake eyes to put on as well, which really does elevate it, I have to admit. This just looks like an old chimney sweep whose hat is kind of covering and he can't see anything. But it still really works. Even though I haven't got the fake eyes, it works well. So yeah, so I got rid of the fake eyes. I got myself a pair of grey gloves that I would actually wear. And that routine now for me, it's just a really nice thing to do when you've got some children and families around you. So enjoy. Number 9 is actually a book, and this is a book called The Magic of Michael Amar. I bought this mainly because he does a signed build to light bulb effect for a parlour, you know, audience. So I bought it specifically for that. I am working my way through it. I'm enjoying every page and it's really, really nice. I don't actually own many of Michael Amar's stuff, although I highly, you know, respect him. And so I thought, actually treat myself around about Christmas time. I'll have some time off and I can read this. So that's a really good book to read. I recommend looking it up and you'll find all of the kind of, you know, tricks that are included and everything. The contents, that's the word. Contents. You'll find out what it contains by looking at the contents. Good book. That's number 9. And finally, at number 10, there has to be a Craig Petty effect in here, doesn't there? Once again, I respect Craig a lot, but actually don't own much of his stuff, which is strange. A lot of the people who I respect the most I don't own anything, mainly just because I'm trying to focus on creating my own stuff, typically. But it is Gatekeeper, and yeah, I think the reason why I don't own Keymaster is because I use Holy Moly a lot at work as an electrician. So I think mainly I've gone down that route with the key effect. You know, without having Keymaster, I should say. But Gatekeeper is very good to combine with Lowkey. So if you watched my video on Lowkey, you would have seen me or heard me say that you should get rid of the blank copper key that comes in the set and replace it with the key that comes in Gatekeeper, so that you can stretch out the hole and do a little barbette where you have to fit the other key through the hole of the key. It's a really, really nice effect. I really enjoy it. And yeah, I think if you're going to perform Lowkey, by Gatekeeper. I think it's only about £20, and then you've got a nice follow-on effect as well. And it's just a great effect to have on your keys in general anyway. So that is my top 10 effects of 2024. Like I said, not things that necessarily released in 2024, but they are things that I have bought in that year. And yeah, I look forward to buying more Magic when I'm at Blackpool and seeing what else comes out in this year. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. There is something I need to do, which I do on every video, and I forget to really mention too much, really. It's whatever that means. There is a discount code for Alakazam. So if you shop at Alakazam, then you can save 5% on every single order, not just one-off. Every single order, whenever you purchase from Alakazam, remember to use my discount code. It is Ian19103. If you put that code in, I'll put it down here, enter that code at checkout, you'll save 5% every single time you order from Alakazam. A lot of this stuff I also, and it pains me because it's kind of like there's so many companies that I love, and I've got friends in every company, and so it's difficult for me to kind of highlight you know, which company you should buy stuff from. But I do know that Popschticle, I think, is only available at Monster Magic. Monster Magic is also an excellent retailer. He's one of my best friends in Magic, and I think you should really check out Monster Magic. Alex Kirk is a wonderful man, wonderful retailer, and yes, runs a fine shop, fine Magic shop. So yeah, do check those out, and thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.